Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So we got to talk about JJ Redick. Charles Barkley has responded with a scathing response to JJ Redick and some of his comments. I believe this was back like December the 20th. But as we all know, NBA ratings have been going down. I believe the Chicago Bulls shot 63s the other night. You look at a player like Victor Wembanyama, right? Great second season. Statistically, he looks pretty good, and San Antonio is turning it around. Now, I understand he's not the strongest player and can't get what he wants in the post every single time right now, and that'll come with strength. But when you see a player like Wembanyama get 15, 16 threes up in a game, you're just looking at players make the game harder than it has to be, and that's around the board. You may see 10 straight possessions of transition threes. So the product, I don't think anyone can argue that the product isn't as good as it used to be, man. That's why people like Shea Gilgis Alexander. All right, I'll say this before we move into the comments. Player like Shea Gilgis Alexander has separated himself from Anthony Edwards this year. Anthony came out settling for threes. Shea Gilgis can make threes, but he's a mid-range assassin, gets to the foul line, does things like that. So you could see, you know, the really good teams, Jalen Brunson, mid-range assassin. Now he takes a lot of threes too, but Brunson can dominate you from the mid-range. Um, so again, man, I think it's a conversation need to be had about the 3-point line, the physicality of the game, and everything in between. But we about to get into what JJ said that got Charles Barkley hot. Let's.
I don't think we as, and by we, I was part of it, we as the sort of national partners have done a good job of storytelling, of celebrating the game. If I'm a casual fan and you tell me every time I turn on the television that the product sucks, well, I'm not going to watch the product. And that's really what has happened over the last 10 to 15 years. I don't know why. It's not funny to me. Nothing is entertaining to me. This game should be celebrated. I've watched the league evolve. I'm in this league right now. I can tell you without fact, or with fact, that the league is more talented, and not just raw talent. The league is more talented and skilled than it was 18 years ago when I was drafted. That's a fact. There are more players that are excellent. There are more teams that are excellent. I heard when I played for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, well, why don't we even play the regular season? We know who's going to be in the finals. Well, guess what? We have parity now. And we're not celebrating parity. We're not celebrating the fact that the Western Conference is as loaded as it is. We're playing a Sacramento team tonight that's incredible, with incredible talent, and they've got a losing record. It's not because they're a bad basketball team. I don't know. We don't have anybody that's willing to step up to the fact that this is an awesome game and we should talk about it and celebrate it in a positive way. That doesn't mean we don't critique it. We should critique it, but we should celebrate it. And nobody's doing that. And the people that are have a small niche following on Twitter. And frankly, I would argue as well that everyone in our ecosystem pays too much attention to what is said on Twitter. And part of this whole ratings discussion is because people on Twitter are talking about it.
Yes. I'm gonna tell you this, JJ Redick. If a large portion of the fans is losing interest, you need to listen. Your fan base, don't get it twisted. Just because they don't dribble the ball up and down the floor and do all these things, they are the reason that you have a job, the reason that anybody even cares about these big nights and performances that players can put up. So you need to, if your fans are pulling out, you do have to pay attention to that. But you talking to Charles Barkley, you talking about niche following on Twitter, that's a part of it too. And large parts of your fan base is talking about it, but also you talking about Chuck and Shaq and them. So Chuck took 2 minutes out to eviscerate you live on TV tonight. Let's check it out.
Said something about then. I heard JJ Redick said something about me. JJ, you better calm down because when you come for the king, you better not miss.
Did he name you specifically, or was he just talking about folks on TV?
He said something about we're the reason people ain't watching this crappy product we got. That's JJ. Yeah, us, like we out there jacking up 103s a night. JJ, I don't know Jason Monroe. I don't know who that is, but JJ, if you come for the king, you better not miss. Because I can get you, brother, because I got your Lakers games. You can't hide them flaws they got. You just a dead man walking. They got rid of Frank Vogel, who did a good job. They got rid of Darvin, who did a good job. But you came out there thinking you were going to change things with that same ugly girl you went on the date with.
64-51 was your halftime score. As we get back to the highlights, and Rudy Gobert.
So he came in there thinking, I can make this thing work. Hell, you can.
77-71.
Put some makeup on that pig.
Man, the Lakers are pigs.
The Lakers stink, man.
Oh, man, okay.
Come on, man.
Tatum, by the way, has 33-8-9.
Put some makeup. What'd you say? Put some makeup.
Put some makeup on that pig. I'm JJ Redick. I can make this thing work. Please. Chico, please.
Josh Minot right there with the big dunk as Minnesota comes back at him, and Dante DiVincenzo ties it up
Way to go,
at 94.
I'm being professional. You come for me, you better not miss.
We heard that already.
Okay.
As
Why
Tatum.
come for you? I missed it.
We're the reason ratings are down.
Oh, we the reason.
We're the reason. Like we playing.
We only on an hour a day.
Well, hey, listen. If me and
on an hour a
Shaq,
week.
that's exactly right. If me and Shaq played, damn, the ratings would be down.
Look at Derek White.
But in fairness, if me and Shaq played, we'd be like the third or fourth best players on that Laker team right now.
That is the last gasp from Minnesota.
LeBron, AD,
LeBron, AD did. Chuck, get in the game. Shaq, get in the game. Damn bombs out there.
So Mr. Condescending can't hide behind saying it is people with social media followings. No, Chuck saw it. The whole NBA brotherhood did not like how you and LeBron James went about you getting that job and undermining Darvin Ham while he was still employed with the organization. And so now this stuff is on Front Street and you got to deal with it. And I'm glad someone of Chuck's ilk, someone with his respect nationwide came out and said it, because this is what's been said on YouTube. So many people have been covering this ever since it happened. And y'all think y'all can do that in plain sight and we don't say nothing about it. JJ Redick, you were a three-point shooter in college and in the NBA. You were kind of designated to do that. So you're happy to see players play like that. But you will see a player like Julius Randle and those guys not playing to their strength. They have strength on the inside. People would rather shoot threes. Giannis finally figured it out this year that, hey, if I can finish down low, if he can get his free throws up, he'll still make 5 or 6 threes a game off and ones. And I've been saying that from the beginning about his game, settling. So many players settling. High ball screen, pull up for three. Or, I'm just sick of the way that the game is played. There's no flow to a lot of these games. Offense, offense, offense. You see 150 points way too much, 140 points, 130 points, just way too often. Not saying that pros can't do that sometimes. You seeing all the games can get to where they 50-point blowouts, and it happens more frequently. Nobody want to see that, man. Especially when the NFL's putting out a good product, So yeah, JJ Redick, you and your condescending talk, people's pushing back, and I'm gonna let the great Jerry West take us out with what he said about JJ Redick and his opinion on his era. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.
JJ Redick, a current player who just recently retired, said that Bob Cousy played against firemen and plumbers, and Bob came on and wasn't too pleased. And, you played in that era, and those guys set the table for us to be where we are today. And I was just interested in your thoughts on comments like that about your generation and the generations that paved the way.
Well, obviously the game is completely different. The athletes are completely different. And I know JJ just a little bit. He's a very smart kid and everything. Look, tell me what his career looked like. What did he do that determined games? He averaged what? He averaged 12 points a game in the league. Somewhere along the way, numbers count. At that point in time, the players aren't what they used to be. JJ certainly wasn't going to guard the elite players. And so you can nitpick anyone. And I'm not, the only reason I'm talking about him is because he was not an elite player, but he was a very good player. But he had a place on the team because of his ability to shoot the ball. But those players at that era, and again, that was when I started to see the difference in athleticism. You know, my era, I was an athlete way before my time. I had a huge vertical. Probably no one in the league was much faster than me. And certainly the competitive part of it, I would put myself among any player that played the game. Today also, winning is all that matters. That's what drove me. And I subtly got better every year. We didn't have the facilities to get better. We had to work in the summers to support our family. But JJ should be very thankful that he's made as much money as he's made. And Bob Cousy, who I played against a couple of years, not very long, I just think it's very disrespectful myself.